Good morning.
Watch me.
Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Kate Maxwell, and I am the General Manager for Worldwide Education Industry here at Microsoft. It's an honor and a privilege to be speaking with you all today, and I want to extend my sincere thanks to the Avgulea Linadatu School in Athens, Greece, for this exciting conference on the future of education. And I also want to give a special shout out to two people. Huge thanks to MIE expert Stavi for the invitation, and also to Eleni for making this event happen today. And of course, a giant thank you to every single person in the audience for joining us for this event. You are the educators and school leaders who are shaping the minds and hearts of the next generation of global citizens. You are the ones who are inspiring and fostering creativity and curiosity and critical thinking in your classrooms. You are inspiring hope and resilience and compassions in your communities, and you are making a tremendous difference in the world every day. So thank you for all that you are doing to shape the future of education. And even more than that, thank you for inspiring and encouraging the next generation of global citizens through your work. This work matters, and we thank you for it. So I'd like to kick us off today with some reflections on this particular moment in education and this particular moment in artificial intelligence transformation, because these two moments are directly related to one another. And I think what we have all seen and experienced is that the past 3 years have brought tremendous change to our collective world. We've weathered a global pandemic. We've seen civil and economic and geopolitical shifts. There's been this unprecedented move towards hybrid and remote environments. And of course, that leads to changing expectations around where and how people work and how they learn. And on top of all of that, now we're seeing exponential advancements, including the rapid rise and adoption of generative AI across every single industry on the planet. And now, as a core pillar of society, education has been impacted by every single one of these changes. Academic institutions have had to adapt and transform, in some cases, literally overnight, to meet the evolving needs of students and educators as the world has changed around us. And now we find ourselves in this new era of artificial intelligence, with AI transforming every aspect of our lives, and once again, calling into question how we work, how we learn, and how we create and collaborate and communicate with each other as human beings. And this transformation is not just coming, it is here. It is happening right this very moment all around us. And this moment is creating new opportunities as well as new challenges for educators, for researchers, for administrators, and also for students and their families alike. And so now we see schools and academic institutions all over the world exploring the power of artificial intelligence to save time, to personalize learning, to increase operational efficiencies. And we also seeing institutions thinking really hard about what it means to deploy AI in a responsible way and how to put the right usage frameworks in place to protect students and educators and families in this moment. And we have to prepare students for a world in which they are going to leverage artificial intelligence as part of their job functions. So at Microsoft, we refer to this as AI literacy. And the importance of AI literacy is only going to continue to grow as this AI landscape evolves. And so I want to share with you, just to set the scene, a few statistics that I find to be particularly interesting. I'll start with this one. There's a Forbes study that says that 85% of students who are in grade school today will one day perform jobs that have not even been invented yet. We also know that the future workforce is technology enabled. Studies from the World Economic Forum estimate that the world will require 23 million new IT jobs by 2025 alone. That's next year. And that only 36% of the world's demand for tech-skilled employees are being met today. That is a massive skill gap that we desperately need to fill as a society, and artificial intelligence is poised to help with that. And likewise, we find that workforce skills themselves are changing. 82% of leaders are now saying that their employees need new and different skills to prepare for this era of artificial intelligence that we find ourselves in. And so if we pull on that thread a little bit further, what we've done is we have surveyed organizational leaders all around the globe and in many different industries as part of our Microsoft Work Trends Index. And the data shows this. Modern organizations need employees with modern skills, such as analytical judgment, flexibility of mindset, and the ability to direct artificial intelligence with prompts that help them more effectively navigate their job functions. And we also see that leaders want their people to know a few different types of skills and things, such as when is it appropriate to leverage artificial intelligence at work and in daily tasks? How do people ask the right questions of AI and technology? And how do they craft effective artificial intelligence prompt? How do they critically analyze creative outputs from AI? And how can people have the mental flexibility to rethink the way that they work, including redesigning some of their existing workflows to leverage AI where it makes sense to do so? And so overall here, the data is pretty clear. As work evolves with artificial intelligence, the workforce needs to evolve along with it. And what's especially important to understand here is that this is not just about technology skills. These are human skills that these organizational leaders are pointing to, right? It's skills like creativity, curiosity, critical thinking, mental agility. And every single profession, regardless of the job function, is going to need to get comfortable with how artificial intelligence can be leveraged to support that work. And employees need to lean into their humanity in order to use it effectively. And I find that to be both reassuring and really exciting in this moment. So to recap, this change is happening. And skilling is at the heart of this change. There is a clear call to action here for the educators of the world. The students of today are the workforce of tomorrow. And it is imperative that we afford them with these AI literacy skills as they prepare to enter the workforce, where artificial intelligence usage is increasingly prevalent and likely soon ubiquitous. So with that, I want to thank you again. Thanks for taking the time to be here with us today. Thank you for all that you do. And we look forward to supporting you and leaning in with you on your artificial intelligence enabled journey ahead. And with that, we'd love to give you a quick peek now into our vision for the AI enabled workplace. So team, let's roll that video. Thank you.
This is work.
What's up, Mike?
We're giving eyes and ears to AI. So the world becomes your prompt and your interface. This is work, working. These are thoughts happening.
Hey, Copilot.
Plans populating.
Copilot, when was this last replaced?
Information gathering. Instructions guiding. Schematics aligning. People connecting. Problem solving.
Copilot?
Hey, Copilot. Copilot.
This is confidence growing. Eyes widening. These are questions.
I just finished. Copilot, what's next?
Rotate the engine block 90 degrees.
Questions the way you ask them.
Please get me the detailed view of the optical cable layout.
Never too many questions.
All right. Let's highlight the relay switches.
Go ahead. Keep asking.
It's in position. What's next?
Keep learning.
The hydraulic filter was changed 6 months ago.
Okay, can you pull up the service record?
Copilot, what's the tolerance of this locking ring?
Here is a copy of the last service record. The tolerance is 9,000ths of an inch.
Remind me where this fits into the assembly.
Step 4, align the spindle. The locking ring is highlighted.
This is work getting smarter. This is work working better. This is work. Working. This is work making sense of the world around you.
Co-pilot, let Ruth know that I'm finished and close out the work order.
This is AI for the front line.
Hello, and thanks for having me. My name is Joe Brazier from the Worldwide Education team, and I'm happy to have just a few minutes to talk to you today. It's a great video of what we're seeing and really showing how technologies, when they work together, can create some really amazing experiences. And though you're not in the manufacturing space, one of the things that we are looking at is how enhancing your productivity for the work that you do outside the classroom, in preparation, in all of those things, can really help you focus on the things that you got into education to do, which is to see the impacts on learners, to see them have those aha moments and really have a lasting presence in the lives of our students throughout the years. So one of the ways that we are seeing this in AI is really becoming real for education is in the middle of this slide. For every dollar an organization spends, they are seeing a return of 3.5 times. And that is just something that we can put our fingers on. That is just something we can quantify. If you think about how much time you're able to save when you're planning, when you're ideating, when you're trying to come up with different ideas, having a tool that helps you do that reduces the cognitive load and re-energizes you to really do the things that you're excited about when you step into your classrooms, your schools, and your districts, and really opens up the doors for creative teaching environments and creative learning opportunities. And the things we are seeing, the impact is actually very real. And what you see on the screen are different examples of what other institutions and even partners have done. And what it is it's not saying that this school used this tool. What you're seeing is this school was able to boost creative thinking and creativity. They were able to help students learn English. They were able to save time. They did things around equity and accessibility, right? They were helping to brainstorm efficiently. So you're seeing the things that artificial intelligence is really able to help you do. Now, I want to take a quick moment and just make sure that we are all on the same page. When we're talking about things like Copilot and generative AI, we're talking about something that is actually fairly new, but Microsoft has been in the artificial intelligence game for a long time. So I want to take just a quick moment to make sure that we're on the same page, that although everybody's talking about artificial intelligence and it's new and it's going to really disrupt education, AI in and of itself has been around for a while. What we've been seeing more recently is things around deep learning and being able to make those connections. And just a couple of years ago, we were able to see how a tool like ChatGPT from OpenAI really made it so I don't have to have the perfect search words, and it kind of understands what I'm saying, and it can create these really interesting ideas, things to help get me going, gets us over that cognitive load of getting started, which we see students struggle with and we struggle with ourselves. But things get really amazing when you see generative AI come into the conversation. So one of the things before we get into that, I want to kind of talk just briefly about what artificial intelligence really can do in the education setting and things that it's already doing and where it already is. And some of those places are in our learning accelerators. Though I don't have a lot of time to get into demos and really show you these, hopefully you've had a chance to see them, hopefully you understand them. But what those do is really show our experience and our philosophy on what the student-centered approach can do while empowering educators with the right data to make decisions based off of actionable data, right? So giving students that time and that ability to get real-time coaching when they need it, where they need it, and making sure that it's inclusive by design. And then on the other side of that, for the educators, giving them the insights to that they can act on them. And that really does save time, and putting it into the workflow of the assignments, it really makes it ubiquitous. I think Kate said that word. It makes it just kind of embedded and in the flow of the things that we're doing and what we have there. So we've got a few learning accelerators, but the things that they open up is amazing, with reading literacy, math numeracy, helping students with their well-being, whether you do it and reflect or you actually leverage the tools to build that confidence and initiative taking, to get them into a better state of learning, right? Get them ready to learn. And knowing that they're not going to get pulled out for this extra work, they can do it next to their classmates, they can do it on the same types of devices and tools that their classmates have, removes the stigma and makes it very empowering for all of those students to be able to do that. But then at the same time, you've got things like information literacy, and Search Coach is an amazing way to be able to do that. Say, I want you to look at just these resources. I want you to explain to me why you chose that resource and why are you always clicking on this first link when you do a search. Let's think about learning. Let's think about research much deeper than it is. And we want to make sure that our students are all doing those things. But the key to all of this is the education insights, is getting that practice, getting those behaviors, getting those things that the students are doing, putting it in front of teachers in a way that they can see it and understand and ask questions to it, interact with it, and make decisions based off of it without needing to be a data scientist. So though we're talking about things that are inclusive by design, the insights that we're getting from that makes it inclusive for educators to make decisions for their student learning. And with that, I want to take just a quick second to lay out Microsoft Copilot, right? I've got a few minutes, but I do want to start with a quick video that really hope you gets your brains going and your imagination going. So team, let's roll that video. I love watching that video. It's really one of those things where, though it doesn't say a lot, it shows a lot of things. And I hope that we can get to much of what's in that video and hopefully gets you excited to go try it out, learn on your own, and really get excited for the tools that are available to you. Now, what we're seeing is that Microsoft Copilot is already transforming work. And I want to make a quick separation between work and the learning that we do in the classroom, that the students do in the classroom. That engaging with students is one thing. Helping them, scaffolding with strategies, that's one thing. Where we really see the support for educators is all those things that happen in between classes, outside of the classroom, to take away all those mundane tasks, all those extra meetings, all that extra time planning. Make it as impactful, as streamlined for you as possible. Get the most out of that time without stressing your brain. And then you have that energy to pour into your students. That's what you get up to do. That's why I drank all that coffee all those years, is so that I had the energy to pour into my students, not so that I could write the right email, not so I could fill out the right lesson plan form. But what we're seeing is these mundane tasks saving 70% of the time, right? You imagine 70% of your day just given back to you, right? 70% of a planning period. So you can do other things besides just trying to get caught up. All that time is saved. And hours per week, like I said, this is just what we can put our fingers on. This is just what we can quantify. We can't quantify the cognitive load that comes on many of these things, right? The amount of energy that is drained out of you trying to figure out, how do I help the students? What are the things that I should do? So these are some great numbers, but I think that these are actually very conservative numbers when we look at the things that educators do. So we want to take a second to talk about how Microsoft Copilot can help. And what I'm talking about is a Microsoft Copilot that is available in your licenses. This is the one that is available to every educator around the world, regardless of if it's a free or a paid SKU, right? And I'll show you where you can get to it. But first, let's talk about what Copilot can do, right? What it can do is it can get results from the web, right? We're used to that. It can go and it can search the web. Now, ChatGPT, it goes and it's based off of a model of information a couple years old. There's nothing wrong with that. It has a time and a place. Copilot searches the web right now. You can go look for a new book and get information on things, and you can get that information of what is currently available on the web. It will summarize those responses, put it into the way that helps you understand what it is that you're looking for, and you can also prompt back to the previous question and to those answers that you got from it. It can provide links. You said it goes out to the web. It will show you where it got that information from. So you can go to those websites and make sure, is that the place I wanted to get the information from? You know what? I want to ask this question again, but go specifically to this website. That's where I want to get that information from, right? And it can also be creative, right? So it can generate images, it can create lists, it can help you ideate. It has a means of being somewhat creative. And I hope you tap into that. Because that is really one of those things that really helps us in the art and the science of teaching and learning, that really helps us find new ways of doing things with our students. So one of the other beautiful things about Copilot is the follow-up questions, right? So ask it to explain something to you in simpler terms, right? It gave me this really technical insight. It gave me something that I just am not grasping a hold of. Explain it to me like I'm 8. Explain it to me like this is what I understand. Explain European football like I understand American football, right? Explain those things so that I can understand it. And imagine what that does for our students, or it does for when we're trying to create new opportunities of learning for our students, right? And give me more options, right? Sometimes I might want to less the load. So give me 5 ideas, give me 3 more, right? Okay, from those 8, now take the 3rd one and the 5th one, put those together and give me an opportunity to build something like that. Here's how you can interact with Copilot, and it's great. So where you can get to it, we put it everywhere. Because it's Microsoft, we put it everywhere, right? You can go directly to copilot.microsoft.com. You can use the sidebar in your Edge browser. I personally recommend between the Edge bar and the side browser, in the sidebar, and the Copilot mobile app. Those are the 2 that I recommend. Those are the 2 that I use the most often. Having it on your phone, it actually has replaced the bottom row of apps on my mobile phone. I replaced one that I haven't replaced in probably 10, 12 years. That's how often I use it. You can also get to it in your Windows 11 device in bing.com/chat, right? So you can get to it everywhere. But thinking about the types of ways that we get the information that we want. What are some key elements to building your prompts? There's lots of these out there. You search the web and you say, how do I build a prompt? There's all kinds of acronyms and all kinds of frameworks. But I want to boil it down to 4 simple things for you, right? These prompts should include a persona. Who is the chatbot? Who is Copilot? Or who am I? Copilot, I want you to act like a World War I veteran in the trenches and respond like that. Or Copilot, I am a 9th grade teacher that does this subject in this area. Help me do a thing. Give it a framework of who it's going to help, right? Next, I want you to give it an objective. Tell it specifically what you want it to do, right? Specifically. And in turn, who is it going to do it for, right? I'm a 9th grade teacher. I need you to create this thing for this class. I am a 9th grade teacher. I need you to create this thing for the parents of this student, right? And then give it boundaries. And this is an interesting piece of it, right? Create it like this. You can even tell it to brainstorm some ideas and then create what it is I want you to do. You can tell it to create a rubric and then create a lesson. You can have it have the boundaries, put it in a table. I want you to do this thing for me. This is a persona. Here's who you're doing it for. But do it like this. And how it really helps you do that. So though I'm getting a little short on time, I want to make sure you get to the rest of this conference. I've got a quick example of how I do it. Though I'm not going to do the live demo. This is one that I've really much enjoyed. And even if you can't see the screen, the things that are on it, I'm just going to walk you through the process, right? I said, I'm a 9th grade teacher and we're doing a book report. My school gives me very specific books I can use, but a student wants to do a book I haven't read before. How can I evaluate if this book is good to do a book report on? So it gives me some things. It says, hey, you can make sure that the book has enough literary depth, it has enough educational value, and that the characterizations and all these pieces are as part of the book. I'm like, great. Now I have a little ways to evaluate it. This is the book that the student gave the title and the author, said, evaluate this book based on your criteria that you just gave. It says, oh, well, this book is really good. It's got great characters and depth. It would be good for a book report for this age group. However, there's some material and situations of violence and drug use and things you might want to be aware of. Say, you know what? I'm a little uncomfortable with that. Draft an email to the student's parents requesting their approval to allow their child to do this book for their book report. Perfect. here, parents, here's the book that the student's going to do. Here's why it's a good book to do for the book report, but there are some issues that we're concerned about. Can we get your approval to do that? Perfect. So I went from, how do I evaluate this book? Evaluate it. Ooh, but I need to write an email to get parents' approval within less than 5 minutes, as opposed to, I need to now figure out the book, find the book, try to evaluate the book, see if it's good enough, and making sure that I can give the student an answer in a timely manner before it's time for them to start the unit, right? So they don't end up behind, right? I'm able to go from help get me started to get me going, and then I can reevaluate and make the changes to that email before I send it to the parents. I'm the person in control of Copilot because it just helps me. So that's one of just many ways that it saves time and it supports our educators to get started, grow your skills in AI literacy, and try out the tools, right? Go to copilot.microsoft.com, try it out. Try some prompts, build some things of how you might use it at school, how you might use it at home, how you may use it for fun, and find some great ways that it helps you. Because once you understand the tool, you can understand really what it does for you, right? And then make sure that you have the conversation with your organization about safety and security, and that things are safe and secure, that the identities are lined up and all that stuff, so that students and you don't get access to the wrong things. I just want to thank you for your time today. Thank you for allowing us to partner with you on your AI transformation journey. And I hope you have a great rest of your conference today.